I wanted to do something new for my YouTube channel, so I decided to eat ramen every day for 30 days straight, but I would have to cook it a different way each time. So this here is a video of those 30 delicious days. Hey everyone, I am Lisa with Telehue Food, and yes, I did eat ramen every day for 30 days straight, and you're probably wondering why I did such a thing, and it's for a couple of reasons. One, I haven't been able to go out to restaurants and shoot the videos that I typically do. With the COVID crisis happening, I am trying to stay quarantined as much as possible, and also two, I wanted to do something that would challenge myself, that would push me towards the kitchen. I'm not much of a chef, so I wanted to see if I could bring out my creative side. So just as a background, I'm doing it for 30 days and I'm just gonna eat ramen as one meal per day. I'm allowed to eat other meals. I do understand that this is not healthy. I do not recommend anyone do this. I will be consuming a lot of sodium. I am curious to see if I will gain weight at the end of this challenge. I know you guys just want to see the food, so I'm just going to jump right into it. Last thing, if you are new to this channel, I am a food videographer and I visit restaurants to shoot videos about their food and about their story to share it with everyone else. So if you like food, I think you should probably subscribe to my channel. But anyway, let's go ahead and start with this video. I went to the grocery store to pick up some ramen, and rarely have I seen the shelves this empty. But it makes sense during the COVID crisis that more people are eating ramen. I picked up some of my favorites along with some random ones, and then I picked up some items that I thought would be good with the ramen to try, like these salted duck eggs. And yeah, here is part of my ramen stash. Sorry, one other quick thing. I am not a professional chef or a chef in any way, so if I use any incorrect techniques while I'm cooking these dishes, I apologize in advance. On day one, I had ramen with 2 fried eggs, and this is the hot chicken flavor ramen. It's extremely spicy, but obviously not as spicy as the 2 times ramen. It comes with a package of nori and then as well as the hot sauce. So I fried up 2 eggs and cooked the noodles. Man, look at that sauce. It just looks really dangerous, but really good. Then I just mixed it all up and added the lovely eggs on top. And this is really good to me. It's good comfort food. It's usually how I make these noodles with just 2 eggs. And yeah, it still is very spicy. A+. On day 2, I cooked some of the spicy ramen with steak and mushrooms and asparagus. I was making some for my roommates as well. It's a little hard to cook the steak just because I like mine rare and they like theirs well done. So I kind of screwed up a little, but I just seasoned it with some salt and pepper. It didn't turn out too bad. I don't think I cooked the steak correctly, but like I said, I am not a chef. I added some butter and garlic to moisten it up a little bit. Added some wine to my asparagus and mushrooms. I'm pretending to be a chef right there. And here is some lovely sauce. This is 2 times spicy, which burns holes through my stomach lining basically, but this was still another really good dish. On day 3, I had some Shin Black cup noodles with some added toppings and some Kraft cheese. Inside there were 2 packages of soup base, and it looks like one was a spicy and then the other was for added flavor. And then I cooked some extra chicken that I added into this. Okay, so I thought this Kraft cheese was a little bit weird, but people on TikTok kept suggesting it to me, and that is why I'm trying it in this ramen. Apparently the Kraft cheese is used in a lot of different ramen, so I'm just gonna try it. I'm adding boiling water to the cup, and I'm making a big mess. And then I'm using the chopstick method of covering the top. And it doesn't look bad, and it actually didn't taste that bad either. Although I'm not used to the cheese in my ramen and not sure if it's something that I'll do on the regular. On day 4, I had soup-based ramen with salted duck eggs and kimchi. I've never had these Korean noodles before. It has 1 package of soup base inside, and then these are the salted duck eggs. I've only ever had these inside congee that my mom makes, and it's really good. And I've never cooked these before, so this will be very interesting. I put the soup base in the water, and then I added both the eggs to cook it inside of the broth. And then I crushed up one of the eggs, kind of like in the congee, to see if that helps. Obviously, it doesn't look very appetizing. And then I sliced the other egg, and then here's kimchi. I'm adding the kimchi because I know it's probably going to be a pretty rich dish. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't good either, so yeah. On day 5, I made a ramen pizza with a bunch of different things. I cooked the noodles, added Parmesan cheese, and also an egg to act as a binder. Just mixed it all up. And this is where things get interesting. I fried it in the oil to kind of hold its shape. And I kind of got sick of looking at how much oil it was absorbing. But yeah, there's no going back at that point. Then I put some Kraft cheese on top because I didn't want to waste any of the package I had, and some pepperoni, and then the hot sauce from the 2x spicy ramen from the noodles that I just cooked, and then the nori seeds. And I popped it into the oven for 10 minutes, and this is how it looks like. I'm not gonna lie, it actually tasted really good, and the crust with the cheese inside melted. I was actually surprised, even though it was really, really heavy. So for day 6, I had the shrimp tom yum cup noodles, which I really, really like, but I've never had the cup version. These have the dehydrated shrimp, so that was really awesome, and just the flavoring package and some boiling water. I ate outside because my roommates were outside doing yard work, and I wanted to see if they would get mad because I wasn't helping them. On day 7, I had spicy ramen with Vienna sausages and spicy smoked fish flavor ramen, which I've never tried before. If you don't like Vienna sausages, I'm sorry. I grew up eating them and I freaking love them. My roommate has never tried them before, and these are her thoughts on how they look.
Those look gross.
They're so good. It was good. I like it. I just don't know how I feel about the smoked fish ramen. Not on board with that yet. On day 8, I was making some spaghetti for my roommates, so I thought I would try the spaghetti sauce with just some ramen noodles by itself. It wasn't too bad. I do prefer the spaghetti noodles just because the ramen noodles kind of had some cardboardy taste to it with the spaghetti sauce, but it was okay. On day 9, I ate the ramen as a snack, kind of in a way that my younger brother used to do all the time as a kid. And you just pour in all the seasoning, and then you break up the noodles and just shake it all about, and then you just eat it. And it's actually really tasty, and Holly here is trying it. What do you think?
That was good. It kind of tastes like chips.
On day 10, I made spicy ramen with Spam and eggs. I couldn't find the regular Spam at the store because it was all sold out, so I had to get Spam with bacon, which I have never tried before. Fried up 2 eggs and put the Spam in. Yeah, so I burnt the eggs and I also burnt the Spam. Did I tell you guys I'm not a chef? Anyway, it's okay because I'm okay with burnt Spam. And I'm making this with the regular hot chicken flavored ramen. And I am so bad at spreading out the nori. And look, if you flip the Spam to the other side, you don't even notice that it's burnt along with the eggs. And this was really good comfort food. You have the spiciness of the ramen, the saltiness of the Spam, and the savoriness of the egg. On day 11, I made a ramen burger. I cooked up 2 burger patties. I seasoned it with chili powder, garlic powder, salt, and pepper. And then I don't know why, I just thought a waffle maker would be a really great idea to make the noodles crispy. So I just cooked them up and then put them in the waffle maker. Here I'm adding some more Kraft cheese to my burger patties. And I really wanted to add some kimchi. I love kimchi, and I thought that would add some acidity to my burger. And I overcooked what's supposed to be a runny egg. I added some nori, and then this is how it turned out. Oh boy. And it was not that good. The buns were horrible, but I do have to admit the burger patties with the kimchi and the egg were freaking delicious. On day 12, I had some hot chicken ramen with cheese in it. There's a package I've never tried. Here's the cheese and some hot sauce. The shape of the noodles were also different for these. But it actually turned out really good, and it's definitely something that I would buy again from the grocery store. You could definitely taste the cheese, but it wasn't too overpowering. On day 13, I was really craving some seafood, so I picked up some ahi poke from a local restaurant, Noble House Hawaiian restaurant in Wichita, Kansas, and I topped it off with some spicy ramen, and it was divine. The next day, I just made something simple with the spicy smoked fish ramen and an egg. I wanted to give this ramen another try. And yeah, the smoked fish flavored, I don't know, I still don't like it. On day 15, I made some ramen fried rice. I added some garlic, some ramen noodles, and then some leftover chicken fried rice and carry out that I ordered. And then soy sauce and sriracha. And then I added kimchi at the end. I should have grilled the kimchi inside the ramen fried rice, but now I know about that. Didn't know that then. And yeah, this turned out pretty bomb. I loved it. So I am to the halfway point of the ramen challenge, and to be honest, I am sick of ramen at this time. But I don't think it's the act of eating the ramen or enjoying the ramen. I think it's more that I have to go to the kitchen every day and cook a meal. And I know that's not hard for some people, but I'm the type of person who cooks one meal a week in bulk and then just eat it throughout the week. And also I order a lot of carry out because in the past 2 years doing these food videos, I have been to so many good restaurants that I have favorites from, so I always order from them. And also around this time I noticed that I was drinking more water. I was thirstier, and I think that is because of the sodium content. But yeah, let's hope I make it through the next 15 days. Let's see. Okay, on day 16 I cooked pork longanisa. It's a Filipino sausage that I have never tried before or cooked, but apparently you cook it in some water, you wait for that to evaporate, and then you cut it and kind of just pan fry it. I had this with just regular hot chicken flavored ramen, and it actually turned out really good. These sausages were sweet and spicy and savory at the same time, so I will definitely be ordering some more of that. And I was FaceTiming my niece at this time, and she's just so freaking cute. The next day I cooked the Korean soup-based ramen. I had some leftover longanisa sausages, so I just crumbled those up and added it into the bowl along with a hard-boiled egg and some kimchi. And this was actually some umami. It hit all the flavor notes for me, and I really enjoyed this one. The next day, I was really struggling on what I should do. My roommate was making grilled cheese at the time, and she suggested that I do that. So I added some ham and some Havarti cheese on both sides, and I just used a little bit of the 2 times spicy hot sauce in the ramen so that it wouldn't overpower the grilled cheese. Added some of the noodles. And here is the final product. It looks pretty good if you ask me, and it actually tasted really good. This is probably something that I will continue making because it hit all the spots again. It was so freaking good and savory. On day 19, I made some elote ramen. I used some chili flavor ramen that I found from the store. So before I go any further, the following footage may be disturbing to some viewers. So now that we've gotten that out of the way, here we go. I added not 1, not 2, but 3 scoops of mayo. Yeah, so if you're wondering what I was thinking, I wasn't. I rarely eat mayo, so I didn't know the adequate amount. And like I said, I am not a chef, and so I'm so lazy at measuring things. I then added some tapatio, which is a Mexican hot sauce, and some fresh lime juice. Mix that all up, and yes, I know it is disgusting. You can hear the plop. Then in a frying pan, I add some butter and mozzarella cheese. And again, I didn't measure, so I added a lot of cheese. I add some milk and then some canned corn. I used about 3/4 of the can. Just mix that all up together. And topped the ramen with that goodness. And then I topped it off with some Parmesan cheese. And some tahini, which is some chili salt, chili lime salt. And there it is. So even with the excess amount of mayo that I put into it, it was delicious. I thought it was very, very savory. I wasn't able to eat all of it, obviously, but the next time I try this, I'm going to put less mayo, and I suggest everyone trying this. Even my cat was jealous. I got the inspiration for this elote ramen from Food Beast. I will link their article down in the description below. On day 20, I made some ramen spring rolls, and this was my first time ever making char siu. I took about a pound of pork belly, added some scallions and some crushed garlic, and then a cup of tamari soy sauce. I couldn't find regular sake, so I just had to add this other sake. I have no idea what it is. I just added a cup of it, and then I added some non-alcoholic mirin, even though it asked for alcoholic. I could not find that at the grocery store either. And to counter that, I added a cup of Chinese cooking wine, and I simmered that for 4 hours. And then I used soy sauce, ramen, which I've never heard of before this. Here I am preparing the spring roll with some rice paper. I grabbed some pork belly from the pan and I sliced it up, and I'm really proud of myself. I didn't think that I would be able to make something edible from this. And I added some ramen to the rice paper and 3 slices of pork belly. And then I rolled it up. I should have gotten veggies from the grocery store, but I really did not want to go back. And I'm trying to limit my, obviously, visits to the grocery store. And for the dipping sauce, I used some in the braising liquid along with some garlic, vinegar, and lime juice. And it honestly did not need the dipping sauce. The pork itself was salty enough that I really did not need the dipping sauce. And then I'm storing the food for the ramen I'm making tomorrow. The next day, I pulled it out of the fridge and it looks good. I reheated it in a pan. And I thought that Shin ramen noodles would be best with this. I love this ramen, and I cannot get enough of the shots of the pork belly being cut. It's so good. Added the pork belly, and I also added the egg that I soaked in the juices yesterday, so it has that color and taste on the outside. And I add some kimchi because I also knew this ramen is probably going to be pretty rich. And this was delicious, delicious, delicious. I would definitely make this one again if I have the time to make the char siu. On day 22, I just wanted to make something simple, so I used the Shin ramen noodles, and I added just a poached egg, and then I added Kraft cheese because that was another suggestion to try. It was good. Again, I'm still trying to get used to the cheese aspect of that in ramen. Since I wasn't quite satisfied with the ramen from yesterday with the cheese, I just made simple Shin ramen noodles with an egg, and it was good. So I had some leftover pork belly and eggs, and I've always had the idea to make a ramen burrito, and so I just cooked up the pork belly and the eggs. But as I was slicing into the pork belly, I realized that it still was not cooked all the way. So I added it back into the pan so I could kind of caramelize it and cook it all the way through so the fat could render. And then I added some of the ramen to the tortilla, which was actually kind of stale. And then I added the egg and I added kimchi. And here's where it went wrong. I was trying to roll the burrito. It just was not a big enough tortilla. I just put too much inside. And I thought pan frying it would close it up for me. Turns out that's not the case. I burned the bottom and yeah, it did not stay closed. So I just ended up eating it deconstructed, and it was good that way. Then take 2, I tried to take the kimchi out to see if that would help. Again, trying to pan fry it so it stayed closed. It did do better, but it still did not stay closed. It wasn't bad, just a little bit too salty for my taste. I had a friend who suggested that I try peanut butter with my ramen. So I found a recipe online. I will link it down in the description below. I added some peanut butter and some sriracha and soy sauce. And I just mixed that all up in the pan. Here's Holly trying it.
I think I like it.
It's okay, but next time, less peanut butter. On day 26, I had some leftover pulled pork and mac and cheese from volunteering with a barbecue food truck here in Wichita, the Bomb Barbecue. So I added that with some 2 times spicy ramen, and I gave this one an A+. It was so good. Next day, I just made some mama tom yum noodles with a fried egg. And I had, again, some leftover pulled pork. Another really good dish. On day 28, I had some kimchi dumplings, and I ate that with the 2-time spicy ramen. I pan fried the dumplings, and I heard you add some water to help it stay moist, and then you pan fry it. And this was another really savory dish. I don't know how I ate it all, but I did. My belly's just endless. On the second to last day of the ramen challenge, I ordered some Korean takeout from a local restaurant here in Wichita. This was delicious. I got the beef bulgogi and some spicy cucumber salad and spicy rice cakes. This was another stellar dish. This kind of reset everything. I thought I could go like another 30 days because this was just so delicious. And on the last day, I made a ramen bagel with cheese. I'm not sure what type of cheese it is. My roommate just has a bag of cheese laying in the fridge at most times because she loves cheese, and Shin ramen noodles and kimchi. I grilled the kimchi per a recipe that I found on YouTube. I'll link it up in the description below. And I had no idea that this was even a thing, and it made it really tasty. I toasted the bagels, and I cooked the ramen in a lot less water than you normally do, just so that it could retain a lot of its flavor. I added the unknown cheese to the jalapeno bagels that I picked up from a local bagel shop here in Wichita, the Bagel House. Added the kimchi and then the noodles. And it wasn't bad. I actually liked it. The noodles had a lot of flavor to it. The next time, the only thing I think I would change is that I would toast the bagels a little bit longer. But yeah, this was the last day. I was so freaking happy that I would not need to cook ramen more. That was the 30-day ramen challenge. I'm kind of surprised I got through it. I was getting pretty sick of ramen and cooking by the last week of this challenge. The most noticeable things, I was getting much thirstier towards the end of this. I was drinking more water than I usually do throughout the day, and I am so excited now that I don't have to be cooking ramen every day. I am probably not going to eat ramen for a while now. Another thing, I did not gain any weight. I got very lucky in that regard. I do skip breakfast because I'm not hungry in the morning, so I'm kind of doing some intermittent fasting. So I eat the ramen meal and then typically one other meal throughout the day and some snacks. So yeah, so this challenge was a little fun thing to keep me distracted during this COVID crisis and while I'm quarantined. It was a fun experience to do. If you could comment below and let me know if this is something that you could do, I'm just really curious. Or if you have any ideas for some other challenges that I could try while I am just quarantined at home, please let me know in the comments below. Also, let me know which ones were your favorite ones or what you would change, because I am sure I messed up a lot of those and I could make them all better. What would you have done different? And don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next video.